So laying down on your mat to begin our practice today. And you're welcome to stretch all the way out. If your low back feels really tight, you can bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, knees falling in against each other. You can place a blanket under your head or your knees if you'd like. And for our practice today, we'll be using a blanket and a block. So if you need to gather either of those things before finding your beginning Shavasana, feel free. So as you're sinking into this relaxation pose, corpse pose, helps us practice dying, letting go. Let's take a few letting go breaths. So deep inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Two more. Feel yourself really melt with your exhale, letting go. One more. Nice. And then coming to breathe just through the nose. And feeling yourself relax and release with each exhale. Noticing the ways in which we might be pushing ourselves to keep going, to keep moving, and just welcoming this place of stillness for just a little time. And then beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes, welcoming in some movement and re-energizing. And rolling the hands and feet around in little circles, massaging out the wrists and the ankles. And going back the other way, reversing the direction. And then bringing the body to stillness with your next inhale. Reach your arms in a big arc up to the sky and over your head on the floor. And as you exhale, float the arms back up to the sky, down by the sides. We'll do this a few times. Inhale, lifting up. Stretching long. Exhale, floating the arms down by the side. Moving with your breath. Two more. Last one. And then resting with the arms by the sides, letting yourself find Shavasana momentarily, letting go of all muscular effort in your body. And then bending one knee and then the other, placing your feet on the floor. And begin to let the knees just drop side to side. Moving slowly and coordinating with the breath. And then bringing the knees back to center, hugging them into your chest, rocking a little side to side, if that feels good to your low back. And then placing your feet on the floor, lifting the hips up just slightly, scooting them a couple inches over to the right and laying them back down. Extend the left leg long on the floor. Inhale, bring the right knee in towards your chest, holding onto it with the left hand. And as you exhale, guide the right knee over to the left, coming into a twist. This is our first twist, deep twist of our practice. So just melting into it, no forcing, no pushing. Noticing where that edge is for you, where you can just let go, wringing out the inner dish rag of tiredness, exhaustion. Maybe you just feel oversaturated, taking in so much information, or recalibrating your life to a new reality each day. Let's take 2 letting go breaths. With your next inhale, unwind. Come back to center, bend both knees, realign the spine. Feet hip width apart. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, let the knees fall in against each other and rest. Inhale, open the knees, just let them flop out to the sides. Exhale, knees come in against each other. Inhale, knees come apart. Exhale in. Inhale, apart. Exhale in. And then hugging your knees into, oh no, wait, let's push into the feet, scoop the hips up, setting them down a couple inches to the left, stretching the right leg out long. Now inhale, bring the left knee in towards the chest, and as you exhale, guide that knee over to the right, stretching the left arm out to T. Again, tuning in to letting go of some of the oversaturation with the breath flowing through the body. And try bringing a smile to your face and see how that feels in your whole body and your physiology. And let's take 2 letting go breaths. And with your next inhale, unwind. Come back to center, realigning the spine. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little side to side. And then placing the feet on the floor, hip width apart and close to the body. If you have something underneath your head, you may want to remove it for just a moment. I'm going to do just a little bridge flow here. With your next inhale, lifting the hips and the arms up. Arms come up to the sky, over the head. And exhale, lowering body and arms back down. Inhale, lifting up. Maybe a little higher this time. Exhale, lowering down. Flowing with your breath. If you would prefer to hold this, you're welcome to do that too. if you're flowing. One more breath if you're holding. And then coming back down, bringing the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to either side. Feet are resting on the floor. And bring one hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly. Closing your eyes and breathing deep breaths down to the pelvic bowl, filling the whole body with breath with your inhale so you feel your hands rise. And then melting exhale from the chest down to the pelvic bowl. Such deep breaths, letting yourself be nourished by the expansive breath. Two more breaths here. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, sending breath to the hips. One more breath. And then releasing the hands, inhale, scooping the knees up, hugging them into your chest. Lifting the head, curling into a little ball. And then holding on behind the thighs, we're going to rock and roll. If that doesn't sound good to you today, you can roll over to one side and press your way up. So we're just going to rock and roll along the spine. Waking up the spine, enlivening the back body. One more roll, and then coming up. And we'll come to a seat, sitting up on the edge of your blankets. And we're going to stretch the legs out in front of us, so bouncing out the knees. You can tap down the legs and up the inside, just waking them up a little more. All right, and then squeezing the legs in against each other, flexing the feet back towards the body, lifting the spine up nice and tall. Inhale, lift the arms up and pretend you're holding on to some really gigantic crayons up above your head. Take an inhale here, lean back slightly, engage your core. Exhale, hinging forward, bringing those crayons down to draw up the outsides of your legs and up through the torso, back up to the sky, lean back, strong core. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, drawing up the sides of the legs, lifting the spine tall, up to the sky, leaning back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, drawing up the sides of the body. Exhale, hinging forward. Drawing up the sides of the body. This time, we're going to reverse it. So as you exhale, bring the hands down to draw down through your torso, out through the legs to the feet. And then inhale, lifting up into the air, leaning back. Exhale, drawing down the sides of the body, out the feet. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, drawing down. Out the feet. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, drawing down, out through the legs. And this time we're just going to stay in a forward fold. So you can hold on to your feet or your ankles or let your hands rest on the floor. And just feel the spine elongating from the hips as you meld the heart towards your legs. And allow the spine to round, but not without that length through the low back. Melting into an internal space. And with your next inhale, coming back up, letting the arms stay along the legs. Nice. From here, we're going to come to hands and knees. Feel free to put your blanket underneath your knees if you'd like some padding there. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, or a little bit wider. Take an inhale here. Exhale, round the spine, gazing towards the belly button. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, let the motion slide up the spine, belly drops, head lift. Exhale, rounding back. Moving with your breath, cat and cow. The next time you round to a cat pose, press yourself back towards your heels like you're coming to child's pose. Inhale, scooping forward, coming up to cow. Round back again. Inhale, scooping forward. One more time. And then pressing back to your heels into a child's pose, widening your knees and let your belly rest between your thighs. Softening here. Moving into stillness for just a moment. With your next inhale, drag your hands in towards your knees, coming to sit up. We're going to shift the weight over into the left, and actually you may want to remove, well, you can see what works for you. You might want to move towards the front of your blanket. We're going to shift the weight to the left, extend the right leg out in front of us. And you can sit on that left heel if you would like, or you can bring your block underneath at whatever height underneath the hips to help you sit up. Or if that's not available at all for your knee, you can come up like so. So depending on where you are, we're gonna come into a little forward fold, but you can take, if you can sit down on your hips evenly, you can take the left foot out to the left to get a nice inner rotation of the thigh here. So inhale, lifting the arms up from wherever you are in this pose, and exhale, folding forward out over the leg. Melting here, softening the jaw, and wiggle it around. And then coming back up, and we're going to shift the weight back behind us, and you might just be here on your hands. If you'd like to come back onto your forearms or lay all the way down on the floor, you can. This is a deep quad stretch for that left leg. Lifting the heart, lift the gaze. Welcome the energy of the day. 2 deep breaths. And then coming back up. And we'll shift forward, coming onto that knee, bringing the right knee back. And then we'll do the other side. So we're going to bring the left leg forward and sitting back towards the heel. So finding whatever stance works for you. This side might be different, so just exploring that. So maybe you sit on a block, maybe you're up on your finger pads with the knee not bent so deeply. Maybe you can shift over, bringing the foot to the outside and letting this quad stretch pretty deeply. Flexing the left foot, inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward, melting out over the leg. And staying here for a few breaths. With your next inhale, coming back up, walking the hands back behind you. And you're welcome to stay here on the hands, or maybe you come down onto your forearms, or maybe all the way down to rest on your back. Couple breaths here. And then walking your way back up. We're going to shift forward and come back to hands and knees. And making your way to a down dog. So bending one knee deeply and then the other, stretching through the backs of the legs. And with your next inhale, look up past your hands, step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Exhale, hang in a forward fold. You can sway around, move the head, relaxing here, soft knees. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, standing all the way up, reach to the sky. Palms pressed together, exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to do a little standing flow here, just being in Tadasana. So feet hip width apart, spreading the toes really wide, pressing them down into the floor. Nice lifted heart, soft knees. So we're going to do a little flow here, alternating with Yogananda energizing breath. So we're going to bring in a little energizing from the breath. So Yogananda energizing breath is we're going to start in a little chair pose, gentle fists, forearms together. There's a double inhale, so it's, and then hold the breath in, fill your heart with energy, and then double exhale out the mouth. So here we go. We'll do 3 more. One more. Nice. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale down, hang in a forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, standing all the way up, reach to the sky. Palms pressed together. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, bend the knees, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back, hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, standing all the way up. And exhale, sitting down for Yogananda, 4 rounds. Here we go. One more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, standing all the way up. Palms pressed together. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then releasing down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, standing all the way up. Exhale, sitting down. Yogananda, energizing breath is our last round. Here we go. One more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hang in the forward fold. Just let everything release and relax. And then from here, sinking the hips down to the ground, you might widen your feet a little bit so your hips can sink however far they're willing to sink today. If they can go all the way down, you can bring your hands up. Upper arms inside the knees. Deep breaths. And then from here, coming down onto your back again. Hugging your knees into your chest. And then releasing your right foot down to the mat towards your left hip. And if you can, hold onto the right foot with your left hand. And we're going to release the right knee down to the floor. This is a psoas stretch. So this is like your fight or flight muscle, which might need releasing when we're exhausted. So keeping the right hand on the left knee, you're just going to invite that left knee in, straight in towards your heart. This is not a twist. We're just releasing here. And you'll probably feel this at first in your quad, in your right quad. And then as we hold and breathe, it'll sink down a little deeper. Maybe you'll feel it in your low back and your hip. Deeper layers of tissue and muscle. See if you can relax your jaw. Finding a little stillness to restore and rejuvenate. Let's take 2 letting go breaths here. With your next inhale, releasing, hugging both knees into the chest, rocking a little side to side. You might stretch the legs out, maybe shake the legs. And then we'll do the other side. So left hand comes to right knee, holding onto it. Releasing the left foot down towards the right hip. And the floor, holding onto the foot with the right hand, and then releasing the left leg down to the floor. And then gently, slowly pulling in with the right knee, so left hand on right knee, pulling straight in towards the body without creating tension. Just allowing the psoas to release. This is your pedestrian muscle. It attaches through the middle of the spine and goes down through the pelvis. It loops up into the side of the pelvis. It's the iliopsoas. And then goes down through the the pelvis to attach to your femur. It's the muscle that allows you to lift your legs to walk, but it's also the fight, flight, or freeze muscle. When we get into a state of exhaustion, needing a little rest, is a good one to release, to allow a deeper level of letting go if we've been carrying a lot of tension. Feeling this stretch sink down into the layers. And let's take 2 letting go breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. And releasing both legs, hugging them into the chest, rocking a little side to side. You might extend them up and shake them out, relaxing and releasing. So I'd like to invite you to do any inversion of your choice right now. If you already have an inversion in your practice, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to guide you into supported bridge with a block. So if you're good doing shoulder stand or handstand or headstand on your own, feel free to do those. If not, finding your bridge pose, lifting the hips up, we're going to slide the block underneath the sacrum, laying it back down. Just having a little reverse of flow of gravity here, lifting the legs up into the air. So inversions in general are very restorative. They're calming to the nervous system. Many of you may do legs up the wall in the evening when you're getting ready to wind down for bed. Just allowing your legs to lift up so they're not the lowest point of the body. We're reversing the flow of gravity in the body, which is very calming. So it gets us out of the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system that's the fight, flight, or freeze, like we were just accessing with the psoas, and puts us in touch with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, which is very helpful these days. So when you don't know what to do, just throw your legs up in the air. See how that shifts how you feel. One more breath here, wherever you are in your inversion. And coming back down, feet to the floor if you're in supported bridge, lifting up off the block, sliding the block out from under you, and coming down. And let's meet up in hugging the knees into the chest, and then letting the knees come away from each other, reaching through hands to the feet or the ankles. Happy baby pose, rocking a little side to side here. If there's any final poses you would like to find before coming to Shavasana, feel free. Otherwise, stretching out long on your back, coming back to the pose that we started in today, sliding shoulder blades down the back, softening the body into the support of the earth beneath you. Letting the breath flow with ease. Feeling the nourishment of the practice resonating in every cell of your body. Bringing your awareness back to the surface of your body. Begin to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and toes. And as you're ready, bend one knee and then the other, placing your feet on the floor, and come to rest over on your right side. Taking a breath here and keeping your eyes closed and your attention internal, gently press your way up to find a seat. Sitting with your eyes closed, allow these words by John O'Donohue to wash over you. This is a poem called "For One Who Is Exhausted, a Blessing." When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in, on the mind like an endless, increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs in to feel your heartbeat, your personal pulse. And take a deep breath of gratitude, sending that gratitude from your heart out to all the cells in your being. into your day. I thank you all for joining me for practice today. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.